Hi guys, Jim here again with yet another Sudoku video. I knew you were waiting for it. Today we'll be tackling a Thermo Sudoku, as ever brought to you by the guys at Cracking the Cryptic. So a quick word on them first. They are a couple of YouTubers who solve puzzles every day, have been doing so for years. The puzzles they solve are largely based around Sudoku, but they've been branching out recently, and they have some really classic videos, some with millions of views, and they're really good at solving puzzles, right? They're very clever folk, and they teach you along the way on how to do things. All of the techniques I've learned and I show in these videos I learned from them, and they've also collected, I suppose, curated these puzzle collections which are available to buy on Steam or on your phone, and they are 7 different variants on Sudoku, and they each have 100 puzzles, and they range from really hard to tear your brains out, no idea what's going on, blow your mind apart hard. And they are all handcrafted, and they're beautiful puzzles, and they also have handwritten notes as well, handwritten hints to help you through them. So anyway, enough about plugging them, but go check them out. They're great. They're great. So today I'm going to jump into a Thermo Sudoku. So what do I mean by Thermo Sudoku? Well, let's jump into the next available difficulty, which is a 2-star. So Thermo Sudoku looks like this. So it's a regular Sudoku in that the digits 1 through 9 must appear on the grid in their box, row and column. But in addition, we have this other constraint, which are these thermos, or these thermometers. And the idea here is that along the thermometer, digits must increase in size. So this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at its simplest, or it could be 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, or something like that. And that's it. So yeah, let's jump in. Now, when you've got nice long thermos like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this could be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these can all be 5 different digits. Now, there's a more elegant way to solve this, but I'm not clever enough. So I'm actually going to put the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to actually pencil mark the available digits that these could be. So why could this only be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Well, if this was a 6, the thermometer would go 6, and then the next available digit 7, 8, 9, and then you'd run out. So you cannot put a 6 or higher in this cell and keep the thermo logic intact. So that must be a 5. At the absolute maximum, that could be as a 5. Obviously, it could be a 1, as I said. So that could be 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then the other digits up the thermometer sort of increase on both ends. So whereas this was 1 through 5, this is 2 through 6, this is 3 through 7, 4 through 8, 5 through 9. Now, as I say, you could be cleverer about this, but I ain't clever enough. So let's just brute force our way through this, and then go back around and see what we can remove as options. So 2 and 4 clearly not available in any of these cells. Excuse me, just one second. Right, so yes, so those two can't be 2 or 4, or 9, but 9 isn't coming into this yet. This can't be a 4. This can't be a 4, 9, or 7, but I'll just go with 4 for now. None of these can have a 5 in them, because of the 5 in the box. None of these 4. Right, I'm just going to cheat. I'm going to add 7 to all the clues and then take it away, because then it just does the whole lot for you, which is much more straightforward. Pro tip: that can't be a 7. This can't be a 9. These can't have a 7 or an 8, just in case they did. And then here we got 7. That can't be a 7 or a 5. And then here we can't have an 8. 8s could only go here to begin with. Then you can't have a 5 or a 7 on this one. Have I been thorough? Not quite. That can't be a 6. 6 in the row. That also can't be a 6. Okay, now we can pause for breath. So what damage have we done? So We've done some nice things, right? So this has to start as a 1 or a 2. It could immediately jump to 6. However, it can't. Okay, so this is an interesting bit of logic. So this now, the highest it could be is 6. So this can never be a 6, because then it would need to jump to something that doesn't exist. And in fact, that logic persists, right? So that can't be a 6, because what would you put here? You can't put 7, 8, or 9. So the way you check this is if you look at the last digit and sort of descend back down, and if they're always descending, then you're fine. If they're not, you can then remove any digits that sort of offend. So that's an 8 and a 6. This now must be lower than 6, so it must be a 5. This now must be lower than 5, so I can't get rid of that. And then that works. And then you can do the same trick going up. I think this one's fine. Are there any that don't work and I can use as an example? Yes, so this doesn't work. So this could never be a 5. Because if you then go back down the Thermo and say, well, what's lower than a 5? Well, it would have to be a 4, but you can't put a 4 there because the 4 is sort of ruined by that 4. And you can't reach it with a 3 because you'd have to go 3, 2, 1, and then you'd run out here. So that can't be a 5. And again, the way to do that is to start at the left-hand digit and make sure that they increase as you go, and if they don't, you can remove the offender. So 1, 2, 3, 5, and 5. That can't be a 5, so I can remove that. 1, 3, 3, so that can't be a 3. 1, 3, 5, 6, 6, that can't be a 6. If I go back down this arrow, that one works, doesn't it? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 9, 6, 6, that can never be a 6. Ah, look at this, I can get rid of 6, 5, and 4 as options there. And then, yeah, and that means I can get rid of 5, 4, 5, 4, and 3 as options here. So I think we've probably done about as much damage on these thermos as we can for the time being. So yeah, so we've managed to get them down. So they started very sort of, oh, that can't be a 2 because of the 2 in there. I didn't spot that one. And that does have knock-on, so that can't be a 3. Oh, and that can't be a 5. See, I've missed loads of stuff, man. This is terrible. Yeah, these two can't be 5s. Should have seen that because of that 5 there. Okay, just looking around to make sure I haven't missed. I missed. I was just blind to 5s. I don't know what it was. Does this change my logic? 3, 4, 6, 5, 6, 4. Yeah, so this is fine. What about this one? No, this doesn't work. 8, 6, 6. So, well, you go up the arrow. 1, 3, 6, 6. That can't be a 6. That must be a 7 or an 8. And then 8. So we say 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. That's fine. 9, 8, 7, 6, 4. 9, 6, 4, 3, 2. And then 8, 6, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so we've got probably enough to be looking at now. So have we got any actual regular Sudoku we can do? Yes, we can do this, can't we? So where do 1s go in this box? Well, I've these 1s in the row and column. Rule this out. You can never put a 1 on a thermometer unless it's at the start. So that must be a 1. Excuse me. That is a 1. That doesn't help this because that could still be a 2 or a 3, but it's useful to know. 1 is limited here by this, this, and this. So that is now a 2 or a 4. That's okay. 1 in this box is limited to these 2 cells. 1 in this box is in fact limited to this 1 cell, so that's useful. So that's 1. Ah, okay, and that locks a 1 into that one as well. Okay, so 1s have been very fruitful. Is that all the 1s? That is, that's all the 1s. Fantastic. Okay, now what can we do on 2s? Are they going to be just as useful? I hope so. So in this box, 2s combine here. That can't be a 2, so there is definitely a 2 here, which means in this box there's definitely a 2 down there. Might be it for 2s actually. They were not as productive as I'd have hoped. That's fine. What about 3s? Well, in this box 3s are limited to 2 cells over there. Not so useful. What about fours? Don't look very helpful at all. 5? Any movement? Any takers on a 5? Ah, yes. Ah, this is huge. This is huge. Where does 5 go in this box? Well, it must go here, because these two 5s rule that out. So that is a 5, and that is the smallest number you could put here, which means these descend back down, and it's actually a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Thermo. Now I don't know when this became available. Maybe that could have been a 5, and now the 2 is sorted. Yeah, so anyway, so that is now a 2. Oh, that's a 4. That's big as well, because then that means this must be at least a 5, which means this cannot be a 5. That could still be a 2 or a 3, though. That's fine. Yeah, the reason I like thermos in this particular game collection is because of the way that the pencil marks are taken out for you. If they weren't, I'd be much worse. You can turn it off. If you think that's too easy, you can actually ask for a more challenging puzzle. Ah, okay, so those virtual 4 and this 4 down here. So firstly, it removes a 4 as an option now, which is nice. But also, it actually gives us a 4 in this box. So that's even nicer. Look at that. Ah, this is a 6-7 pair in this column now, which is nice. So that can't be a 7. That must be at least a 6, so that can't be a 5 or a 6. That must be at least a 3, so that can't be a 3. Yeah, so we've got these down to, all the Thermo numbers are down to 2 pairs now, which is nice. Fives are limited to one of those 2 cells in that box. Ah, 5s are sorted in this box, because that must be a 5, which then means in this box that must be a 5. Again, that doesn't really resolve that. That could be a 7 or an 8 still. Ah, it does resolve this, so that is a 6, which means they need to climb in order here, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's really useful. That's a 6. That could still be a 7, 8, or a 9. Ah, but this has now become a 3, which is terrific. That's a 3 as well, given these 2 3s here acting on this box. That gives us a 5, so that's nice. That completes that Thermo. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The biggest Thermo you could have. We've got the biggest and the smallest. Look at that. And then some random shenanigans going on here. Ah, yes, 9 in this box is here. That's a 4. What are we missing here? 2 and 6. Somehow became 6 and 8 when I wrote that out. Ah, and there's a 2 already in that row, so that's a 2, that's a 6. That must therefore be a 8. An 8 to complete that. This must be a 7 to complete the column. That gives us 8, 9 on the Thermo. That's excellent. We've only got 2 more Thermo clues left. But I do feel like we've done the bulk of the work here, haven't we? Right, so that's a 2 to complete the row. This is a 1, no, excuse me. This is a 6, 7, 9 triple. There's the 9 and a 7 there, which means this is a 6. Sevens are limited to these 2 cells here. These 2 cells here. These 2 cells here. Okay, I don't think this is that helpful, but what about 8? 8 in one of these. Ah, there's an 8 down here, so in fact that is the 8. And that is therefore an 8, and therefore that is a 7, which sorts out that 7 over there, because they were all sort of paired up, weren't they? 8 in this box. Ah, 8 is resolved in that box, and therefore that's an 8, and that's a 3. What do I need to complete the row? I need a 4. Ah, there's a 4 down there, so that must be the 4 to complete this box. Well, sorry, to complete the box I need a 9, which resolves this 9-7 pair down the bottom, which gives us this 7 up top. This 4 is the last 4, I think. Oh no, sorry. This is the last 4. This is a 6 to complete the box. Yes, it is. And then in here we've got 6 to complete this box. That must be a 2 or a 3, which I can't resolve yet. That's interesting. So that must be a 2 or a 3, and that's a 2, and therefore 3 and 2. And that's our last Thermo as well. So yeah, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. So that's a random order. And then these are well behaved. 2, 3, 6, 8, 9. And then what are we saying here? This is a 3 and a 5. This is a 5 and a, oh gosh, 2 and a 3 and a 3 and a 6. Oh, blimey. Not my light over. Hooray! Too excited with that puzzle self. Yeah, I love a Thermo. I love a Thermo where the pencil marks are sorted out for me. Let's rephrase that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I really like the puzzle. I really do enjoy Thermos in general, so not a surprise. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!